A warm welcome. I am back. It's been about 3 weeks since Rob Van Dam was on the show, but Stu's Wrestling Podcast is back. And for the record-setting 6th time on Stu's Wrestling Podcast, it's none other than WWE, former WCW star. It's obviously Jacques Rougeau, a.k.a. The Mountie. And as I always say, I hated you as a kid. I hated The Mountie. I hated the Cat Dog. I hated everything about you. But we've become very good friends, of course. And you're in Florida at the moment.
Yeah, you can tell by my tan a little bit there. Things are coming along good. Just to let you know, during the podcast, if you hear a pelican or a bird or something like that, don't be surprised, since there's a lot of wild animals out here where I'm staying at, actually in Florida, and it's marvelous that the weather has been great, and it's nice to be back, Stu.
I'm not jealous in the slightest, I'll have you know. It's windy and I'm very grey outside here in North Wales.
Oh well, I'll leave it up to you.
You had you spoke to me a couple of months ago about something that you couldn't tell me about until it actually happened. Now, over the last couple of weeks, there was a huge thing concerning you, Hulk Hogan, George St. Pierre, obviously MMA UFC legend, and Mr. Adam Copeland, obviously Edge as well, a new amusement arcade machine, which I was just, when I saw you doing the press conference and all that, it looked amazing.
You know, Stu, it was just absolutely mesmerizing. It was probably the most important day of my life for a long time. Just being accompanied by these three legends, like being in this, having this New York company, Premier Games, that decided to go into the arcade business, and they've been in the arcade business for years and years, but to bring the wrestling business into this, and having my friend Tony Gattillo, who's a friend from Montreal, who's his cousin, and he had this idea, this crazy idea, and then putting it all together. And finally, we end up in Orlando 2 weeks ago with a huge press conference at the Player One's booth at IAPA, which is the biggest convention during the year, where all the new games of arcades are seen out of the across the world, and everybody comes for this convention. It was just amazing to see the people come, and being with Hulk and GSP and Edge by my side, having their machine behind us. It was amazing, and you know, I got to tell you, Stu, in 8 days from now, in Ottawa, Canada, it's going to be my first personal appearance, where they're going to have my first game out on Baxter Street on Fun Haven Arcade Center, and I'm going to be there with GSP. And that's in 8 days from now. I can't wait. People are going to come and see us and play the game and try to win this magnificent belt. It's incredible, Stu. This belt is, you know, people have no idea when they hold it in their hands, because there's going to be one on the display to show the people, not the one that's in the machine that you could win, but on a display. And it weighs 14 pounds, the belt. It's one of the nicest wrestling belts I've ever seen. And with my name on it like that, you know, and it's just amazing. It's a dream come true for me.
Just proud moment for yourself, of course, and us as fans. I know I'm over here. I want to play it. I want to play it, and I want to have a chance of winning it. So I'm going to have to get a flight, unless we end up with it over here in the UK. You know?
Well, hang on there, because, you know, I'll tell you what, Tony Gattillo, he's the one behind all this, and so T Gattillo at GattilloGroup.com, and any arcade center or movie theater could register to get this video game, and I already got some sold in Mexico and Dubai. There's some selling, so it's going to be all around the world. There's going to be some in Europe. There's going to be some all over. So hang in there. I'm coming. The Jacques Rougeau arcade machine is coming overseas, and so you'll be able to play it. And it's like I said, it's just an incredible machine where you have a pair of scissors that are on top, and click, 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 and there's a rope where you got to cut the rope, and you got to press the button at the right time to cut the rope. But everybody's so excited about this project, and for me, to be honest with you, it's so amazing, because, like I said, to be with these three legends, Hulk Hogan, GSP, and Edge, you know, and just being with those three, being part of the four first wrestlers and MMA that are part of this historical moment, was amazing for me. And and not only looking at it at a standpoint of financially, it's going to be nice. It's really going to be nice, but it's not the nicest thing for me. The nicest thing for me is that this is going to sound crazy. I've never been a businessman, but anyway, but for me, like when my friends, my fans, my sons, they go to a movie theater and then they see my machine right there, and then, it's going to be for me. For I could just picture one of my sons walking in there and saying to one of his friends, like, "Hey, look at that! That's my dad's machine." And it's just like so I've been immortalized around the world, and that's my Hall of Fame. To be honest with you, it's just so amazing. So I can't take a smile off my face when I think of all this. This is like I said, probably the greatest times. Since the last time I was happy like that is when I beat Hulk Hogan in Montreal in 1997. But but this is the happiest days right now in my life, and like I said, next Saturday I'm with GSP, and we're going for the first place, Fun Haven, that's going to have the arcade machine set up, and there's already so much publicity out, and there's going to be thousands of people to come and play the machine, try to win the belt, and it's an amazing moment for me.
I made up for you. I made up for you because your career, the length of your career, all the services you gave, and you lived that career, and just these things that are happening for you now, in later life, just the opportunities. It must just be. Is it a pinch yourself sort of thing when they came to you about this initially?
I couldn't believe it, and this project has been in the works for like 6 months, and I've been telling you 6 months ago, 4 months ago, there's something coming. I can't tell you about it, Stu. I can't tell you because I was afraid. It was so unreal and surreal that I was afraid to go ahead and talk to you about it. And then if it didn't happen, then I look like I blah 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 blah. I'm talking and it doesn't happen. So I had to wait, and I had to turn my tongue, and it was very hard because this was like an amazing time, and I was just and I kept telling the only people that I kept telling about talking about this was my sons, and my sons were like telling me, like, don't get your hopes up, like, don't wait till it happens there. You're like, like you seem very excited, and then it's it happened many times in life when you got excited like that and things didn't happen, like, and everybody's like that in life. We all have projects in life that are proposed to us, and it all sounds and looks good, and as we get closer to the project, then something falls apart or something doesn't work out. So for me, it was very, very hard to keep this a secret. But now that it's out, the cat is out of the bag. It's like, oh my God, it's like the feeling that I have so much. Stu, I've always told you this, and I think you know me, and the fans starting to get to know me over the years with all the podcasts, that uh, I'm a very special person. And I don't mean special like better than someone. I mean special like different. and and then so for me, emotions, they grasp me so intense, like, and so now the joy that I'm living right now is just, it's like overwhelming. I don't think it's the right word. Overwhelming. There should be a better word than that. It's like I have a hard time sleeping. The first day after Orlando, 2 weeks ago, when we had the press conference, I actually literally kicked my girlfriend out of my bedroom, and I slept with my belt. And then it was like
I think you're in the doghouse. I think you may have got in the doghouse for that one. Oh no!
But that was my joke. But anyway, I gotta tell you, it was just so it's been really surreal and amazing, and I'm so grateful to all these people and these owners of arcades and producers, and Joe Belmonte in New York that decided to commit into this project, and this and Yuri up in Ottawa, who like every people, every owner of arcades, they buy approximately 10 belts, to go with the machine, to start to get it going, like, when people, so they buy a machine, they buy 10 belts. And this guy Yuri in Ottawa that I'm going to on next Saturday, he bought our machines. He bought the 4 machines, but he bought 75 belts of each machine, and he's got the biggest arcade in Ontario, and so he has so much faith in this project, and it's amazing. It's surreal.
I was going to ask you a question. Obviously, Hulk's machine, GSP's machine, Edge's machine are in red. Now, I'm assuming it's the Quebec blue for yours. Is
Yes,
that
exactly,
is that the idea
exactly.
behind it?
Yeah,
Or was it
I think so. I think so. To be honest with you, I'm so excited. But yes, it represents the colors of I guess the Quebec, and it's so funny because I'm not allowed to say this, but I'm gonna say it anyways too because you know me, I'm transparent. But
absolutely?
I have a lot of people to come and tell me, but they probably say that to everybody too. But anyway, they came to tell me, uh, Jacques, your belt is the prettiest. Like your belt out of the four belts is the prettiest. Maybe because of the blue. Maybe because of the machine and the blue and everything. It's just so amazing when you look at it. So yeah. But they're all beautiful belts. Like
Mm.
every one of them. The people that come to tell me that, I said, well, go take a look closer to the other ones because the other ones are really nice too. You know, I look at them and Hulk has a great belt and Edge and GSP has a wonderful belt like with all the countries around it and so they all have something special each belt and I think it's going to become a great collector's item for people who down the road because I know for a fact that next year in 2025 at IAPA there's going to be four new wrestlers that are going to come in and or entertainers or I know a couple of people he has in mind and that's going to be amazing so for me to be part of this first batch like you know it's absolutely amazing and so hopefully when you go to your theater next to your home soon or something like that you'll have a machine there Jacques Rougeau there and with all the others and if not you could talk to the owner and show him this machine which is going to be absolutely incredible because there's one thing that I know for a fact uh, there's wrestling fans around the world like in every country there's always wrestling fans and because I was 10 years in the WWF WWE my characters are known. The Quebecers, the fabulous Rougeau brothers, the Mountie. All my characters are very well known worldwide, so the fans know me. So when they come to the machine and they see this, and you know, Stu, I got to tell you something just to finish off on the subject here because we can't spend the whole podcast on my machine, but I'm going to tell you something. This machine means so much more to me than a championship belt. Uh, this belt to me, you know, it's accomplishments of like you were saying before, 50 years in the business. There's a part of my belt. There's the Intercontinental in there. There's a four times WWF Tag Team Champions in there. Uh, there's the night that I beat Hulk Hogan in there. There's the two Hall of Fames that I got last year in Canada. There's but more importantly, when I look at this belt personally, when I think about the things in life, I think about the bullying that I went through in the WWE with the story with Dynamite Kid and what happened. One of the most crucial times in my life that I made it through. I actually beat bullying, and the last thing that I look at this belt now, since it's recent, is the last 16 months that Natalie spent fighting cancer.
Absolutely.
And you know, and then so I look at this belt and it means so much to me. It's like it's my belt. I'm allowed to say what it's about, and all those things that I just mentioned made that whole belt for me.
That's amazing. Amazing. No, honestly, because we've become good friends, me and you, and just anything you're getting now, all these extra things that are coming into your life, and as you say, bullying. You've nice, good things happen to nice people, as the saying goes. I truly believe that. I truly believe that. I've heard it many a time, but yeah, just amazing. And as I say, yeah, sorry.
Stewie, there's so many good things happening to me this year. I don't know if you've heard about I forgot to write you about that, so you'll have to look into it. But there's a major contest in the United States now. It's called TKN Network, and
I know Harvey.
it's a
I know
celebrity
Harvey
network.
very well. Yeah.
And do you know Avi? Yeah,
I know.
and
I've known Harvey for about 4 or 5 years now.
it's amazing what's
Yeah.
happening to me in there. Like, this contest is seen worldwide. It's the biggest online celebrity contest around the world. And I'm part of that. There's 138 superstars, Hall of Famers, baseball Hall of Famers, basketball Hall of Famers, movie stars. You're talking about William Dafoe, John Goodman, you're talking about Sugar Ray Leonard. You're talking about Lou Ferrigno, Incredible Hulk. You're talking about Stephen King, the book writer, the horror book. You're talking, and there's Jacques Rougeau in there too. Like, it's like Jesse the Body Venturas, and they're this. but there's so many superstars. Dave Justice, and for Atlanta Braves, the baseball player, and I could go on and on and on. So if you check that out, the celebrity contest on TKN Celebrity Network, you'll be able to follow me. I just made it through the second round last week, and then that's amazing because you could win at the end of this. There's less and less competitors now that are left, and you could win $15,000 US plus a trip for two to Greece. And that's amazing. For I'd love to take Natalie to Greece. And we've been talking about for so many years. I think that we'd like to do a cruise, a boat cruise to go into to Greece and stuff, and so that would be amazing. So if you guys have a chance to check that out, it's
Absolutely.
called the TKN Celebrity Network. Maybe you'll be able to put something up there
Absolutely.
to show people where to go listen to, and you'll see what's great about this, Stu, is like I've never seen something like this in my life because and this why this came up in my mind is because you're saying that good things to come to good people sometimes in life, and this show, all these celebrities, these superstars that I used to watch as a kid, now I'm seeing them, but on another side of them, I'm seeing all the good things, the good deeds they're doing in life, the personal appearances they do, the help they do to the kids, and it's a show that it's amazing. There's some fraternity that is made in there between us, and all the people that I used to be groupie of, like I used to look at them, like now I'm talking with them. I'm having conversations with them. I'm trying actually to beat them, because now we have to. The whole show is like you have two questions that you got to answer, and you have as much time as you want to answer them, but you have to come up with the best answer for the question, and everybody has their own thoughts, and then people vote in to see, and then there's judges. It's like Wrestling Academy, and there's like judges that come in, and then they vote with you live. And so Avi Klein is just an absolute genius to bring such an amazing contest in such a world that is so negative and brings nefast and so ugly sometimes. He brings only great things, great values, great principles, great everything, great people. And it's like so, and it's so interesting. Like I was on last week when I passed my second round, and tomorrow night I'm going to be watching the show just to see the next three that are going to, because it's so fun. I learned so much about the culture, about the people, and so it's an amazing show. So if you have a chance at TKN Celebrity Network with Avi Klein, check that out, guys. It's amazing. You'll really love it. I think everybody should listen to this.
And Howard Collardo's involved, friends with Harvey, as they've built that from the ground up, because I know very well. I remember Harvey was doing podcasts, like he had Dom Morocco on, Bill DeMott. He used to do the podcast, and they built it, and we've actually had a few voice messages recently, me and Harvey. We always catch up. We always catch up when we can,
And he's such a generous man. He's such a good man, and he helps me with everything I get into. He just personally took a liking into me, him and Giselle, and like you're saying, Howard, and a couple of people on the panel there, and they're so nice, and they share my Wrestling Academy things. They share my arcade machines things. He made me a nice tribute last Saturday. It was amazing on the show. If you have a chance to go see it, the last Saturday show, it was awesome. And so hats off to Avi, and what a great guy he is.
Absolutely. At TKN Network, the new network, all up against one another. Jacques going to be watching this Saturday. He's got to see who his competitors could be in the next round. And the trip to Greece. I went to Greece years ago with Karis.
We
went to Crete, one of the, obviously it's lots of islands, isn't it? So we went to Crete. Beautiful place.
Yeah.
Historical. Just gorgeous.
I'd like to see the city also, the culture, but yes, I heard there's nice white beaches there also. So that's more for Natalie. She likes to be
Santorini. You need to go to. It's picturesque.
Oh yeah, Santorini. Okay,
it is beautiful. My auntie and uncle have been. You should see it. It's just like something out of a movie. It's
wow,
beautiful.
Wow, okay.
Beautiful place. But yeah, that's Greece.
I'm gonna write that down. Write that down too.
You and Natalie would love it there. There's no question. It's beautiful. Jacques, I've asked you about your ex-colleagues, wrestlers, friends from over the years. Now, I'm going to pump some photos in. Photos of me with said talent, wrestlers, guys, because as you know, I like the old school. I was very much into the 80s, 90s WWE. Of the first photo, I'm going to put him up right now with me over in the States years ago at WrestleMania week. And the first one, we've never spoken about him. It's Sergeant Slaughter. Your memories, Sergeant Slaughter.
You know what? I'll tell you what. If anybody has a chance to meet Sergeant Slaughter, he is the funniest man alive. He's the kind of guy that makes me laugh so much every time I meet him, and he never smiles. How do you call those faces? Like, they don't smile and they make you laugh so much. Like, and because he looks so serious, but he's so funny. There must be a word for that, because in French it's un pince sans rire, which means he's got a very straight face, but he's so funny at the same time. And this guy's amazing. What a great man. We meet in Comic Cons actually still now, and lately I met him again, and that's one joke follows another one. Like, this guy's the funniest man I've ever been. I swear to God, he makes me laugh so time. One time I was doing a Comic Con with him, and I was sitting beside him, and then first thing when I went to sit to my table, he was beside me. I said, "Oh no!" And then he looked at me. I said, "I'm gonna have a sore jaw when I leave here today," because he makes me laugh so much. What a kind man, and very, very kind man. I love that guy to death.
My word, when he went heel against Hogan, and he turned, didn't he? He was an Iraqi sympathizer, and like all the stuff you heard afterwards, that they couldn't do WrestleMania 7 outdoors, could they? Worried about security and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
His family were getting threatened. This is how realistic that feud was, wasn't it? People believed he was a nasty man.
I'll tell you, he he it's funny, he had a lot of heat, definitely had a lot of heat, and but so patriotic. So patriotic, that man, so brilliant too. Like, he's just brilliant. When you speak to him about everything and anything, and he'll come up with a nice, great answer, that's going to entertain your brain. So hats up to this guy. Yeah,
absolutely brilliant. I've got just a couple more before we go into Lutte Academie and the winners, because I want to speak about the 2024 finalists, the winners, and stuff.
Have fun, Stu. I'm enjoying this. Have fun.
And then the next one. This is I got two. I got two for the price of one in this photo, and it is Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Hillbilly Jim. Jacques, Hillbilly Jim asked where I was from. I said I'm from Wales. He goes, "Do you know Tom Jones?" I said, "I don't know Tom Jones personally." As I was leaving the table, he said, "Say hello to Tom for me," being a fellow Welshman. Very funny. And Hacksaw, they were brilliant together. It was great. And just your memories of these two.
Well, to be honest with you, Stu, I think once again you're worth the cream of the crop, la creme de la creme. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, what a nice guy, easygoing guy, a friend of mine for years and years. Never had an inch of animosity with him. And Hillbilly Jim, the same thing. Hillbilly Jim, my God, I know that Hillbilly Jim doesn't do many Comic Cons, and because I have a lot of people that wanted to get him in the last few years, and they said something about him pulling away from wrestling and not wanting to do anymore, and that's such a shame, because he was such a nice person and such a great guy. Both of them are really fun. If those are the guys. Those are the few guys that when they were in the dressing room, when I was on the road 25 days a month for years, those are the guys that when you'd cross in the dressing room, they would cheer you up. These guys would just, they'd be nice, they'd be funny. We'd be on the bus traveling, we'd be on the airplanes and the airports, and these guys always had a smile to their face, always, because obviously you could tell that these guys weren't on steroids, that's for sure. So these guys were very stable, mentally stable, and so when you have people like that are kind and nice to the fans, nice to the people, as you remember too, they were probably very nice to you too, Stu, when you met them.
It was just so funny when he's asking about Tom Jones of all people. I don't mind.
I love Tom Jones. I always loved Tom Jones.
For such a small country, we produce some good singers. Shirley Bassey being another one. I'm telling you.
Oh my God, Shirley Bassey's the best. Oh
Wales.
my God, Shirley Bassey. She said, "Oh my God, she's one of my favorites." When she even sang a James Bond song, she Shirley Bassey was just amazing. Her voice. I've seen her on stage. I've seen her on show. What a great speech, and she everybody loved her so much. And it's so funny because there's this girl lately that I've seen on YouTube, and she had a big hit. She made a big first impression with Simon and them and all that, and she's now became a superstar, or she's in the makings of it. Her name is Christmas. Her last name is Christmas, and I can't remember her first name. And she was so funny when she came on board. She said, "Oh, well, it's not so bad as my mom's name." And then everybody said, "Well, what's your mom's name?" She says, "Mary." Like Merry Christmas, and it was so funny, and she was so charming, that girl, and she, I listened to her on the Voice, or not on the Voice, but on with Americans Got. I can't remember the ones where she was on one of those American Got Talent or something like that. Anyway, and with Simon, anyway, Simon, and and for one split second when she was singing, I heard Shirley Bassey. She just has that voice, and so you touched me there with Shirley Bassey. You really did.
Not bad for a country with a population of 3 million. Let me tell you. We produced some people down here. Incredible.
And I'm sure there's many more in your country that haven't been discovered.
Absolutely. I'm very proud of my Welsh roots. I really am. Mike Angus, who you have met years ago down in London at a convention. Handsome, brave, and strong. Jacques is a bit of a legend as well. Oh, he's calling me handsome, brave, and strong. Right, okay. And he said Sarge was on top form at the Full of a Wrestling. So I'm assuming he was at the Full of a Wrestling last year or the year before. Obviously, you're going to be at the Full of a Wrestling Manchester next February. So,
Yeah, that's actually true. And everybody that wants to come and see me, I'd love to see them again. And I can't wait to go out there with all a bunch of group of wrestlers that are going there. I saw the lineup; it's amazing, and yeah. So it's going to be fun, though, for the love of wrestling, and then hopefully Stu, you and I will get together to go
we
have a
will.
little steak or something there.
Oh, hell yeah. That is happening. I've told Karis I won't be back till late that evening. It's like, I won't be back till later. I said, we've got to have some food and have a proper sit down. He says, Jacques going to be busy all day. He's going to have a line all day. So
Yeah, but that's okay. But that's okay, because once my signings are done, once the signing is done, I'm going to go ahead and have some time for myself. And then if you have a car there, I'll jump in your car, and we'll go get some food together. I wanna share this some food with you, as to it's we're on this podcast so many times, but there's things that we could say that when we're not on the air.
absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
so I want to get to know you more about that great family man that you are, and your lovely kid that you're bringing up right now. It's amazing, and so I'm looking forward. But I'm really looking forward for the love of wrestling. It's a great bunch of people that are there, and it's funny because so many good things are happening to me now within the arcade world. I have this Tony Gattillo, the Gattillo group is actually starting to follow me. They're going to come to the UK actually with some to work on my media, like to build me something, and they're going to come film me when I'm signing there. So that's really fun. So you guys out in the UK, you gotta come and see me to make sure my line is really long, and so it looks good for my social medias when I come back, and when I post them all over the place.
My mate last night, we were out for food actually. Aaron, he's met countless people. He goes to a lot. He's met a lot of movie stars and different people. And he said, I want to meet the Mountie. He
George,
said,
I see there's George Buca there that says something about the UK loves the Mountie.
oh yeah.
George Buca is a great guy. I can't remember where I've talked with him before. I can't remember
Yes,
where.
he's got a podcast. What do you call it? He's got a great podcast. He's good. He's good.
Oh, yeah.
He's a good
He's
pal.
awesome. Yeah, I like that guy very much. And thank you, George. I appreciate the kind words.
He knows
Same
his
for you.
wrestling. He knows
Yeah,
his wrestling. Let me tell you.
and thank you, Greg. There's
fire these up now. Sorry, Jacques.
John.
Jacques is a legend and should be in the Hall of Fame. I've said this on the previous 5 episodes with Jacques. Yeah, let's get this sorted. Raymond, the whole Rougeau family, the lot.
But you know what, Stu? It's okay. It's I with the arcade games now going around the world, they'll be in Mexico and North America and Europe and Dubai and so that's my Hall of Fame. So I'm very happy and you know I have a lot of people that tell me this. It's so funny. And I respect it and I love it. But maybe one day, maybe somebody will come around and say, "Hey, the Rougeau name needs to be in the Hall of Fame." But in the meantime, I'm very very happy with my career and what I've done and accomplished, and all the great. When I think of all the great memories, like the 90,000 people at WrestleMania, the 780,000 people at Wembley, and the crowds that I had on their feet there for like 10, 15 minutes, you know, so for me, I know my what I'm worth, and I'm very happy with my career. Very very happy with my career. Like I said, you know, I've been very lucky. I've been blessed, and to have a 50-year long career, and now I'm just having fun with my wrestling academy, giving back to the youth and the younger kids. And I hope let me know when we get into this, because I have so much to say about Wrestling Academy. This year was amazing.
I've got just one thing that ties in with the Hall of Fame here, because these guys aren't in there either. Just one last photo, and then that'll be enough for me. We don't need. It's not about me, but it's about the guys that are in the photos, you know. And I know, how many guys you loved and worked with for so many years. But I'm going to fire it up before we say about Lutte Academy, and it is Axe and Smash, Demolition, and again, I can make a case for these guys being in the Hall of Fame. But yeah, your memories of Demolition, Bill Eadie and Barry Darso.
It makes no sense that they're not in the Hall of Fame. It just makes no sense. But you know, yeah, two great performers. You know, I wrestled Superstar, Bill Eadie, when he was in Montreal. I wrestled him. I wrestled him in the States, in the small territories. And Barry, you know, what great workers. So the Repo Man and you know, has done so much for the business. These guys, you know, but more than that, they're great people to be around. They're when I talked about the few stable guys in the dressing room, well, these guys are a part of it. They say you'd come in and night after night, they'd always have a smile in the dressing room. They always tried to make things easy, and they kept their personal problems to themselves. And so they were true gentlemen, really true gentlemen. And I always love to meet them when I meet them in Comic Cons. We always take a couple of minutes to share some thoughts. I actually played golf with Barry Dorso, and so yeah. So he's a great guys.
Yeah, it was brilliant meeting them all those years ago. I think it was I think I met him in Dallas. I think George Buke has just sent this in as well, so I'll read this. Thanks, guys, for the shout out. Stu, you'll be in for a treat when you meet Jacques when he's in the UK. I met him as a fan 10 years ago, and he was a true gentleman, mate. So there you go. High praise indeed there for you, Jacques.
Wow, thank you, George. Thank you very much. I hope you come back and see me I believe it's the 15th, if I'm not mistaken, of February. I don't have the dates down. I don't have my agenda real fast, but do you know, Stu, if is it the 14th?
Saturday the 15th, Sunday the 16th.
Yeah. So I'll be flying in on the Friday from Orlando. I'll be leaving here in Orlando and flying in. And actually, they have me taking a hell of a flight. I'm taking a flight. I'm going to. I'm leaving Orlando, going to Amsterdam, and then I'm connecting back, and then I'm taking the long way. But they got me flying to Amsterdam and then to Manchester. So it's going to be. But I've always wanted to go to Amsterdam, so won't have much time there. But I'll be able to pick up a souvenir at the airport. But looking forward to go to this Comic Con, because people are always so nice, and they spend the 2 days there, and then finally come back to Orlando after to my beautiful Natalie. But it's going to be fun over there. It's I'll have my Mountie suit with me, and so we'll be able to take some pictures. And that's the one thing about me when I do these Comic Cons. I love that because I always bring my original suit. So when people are in line, sometimes I feel like Some guys are missing out because they show up with a tank top and a t-shirt, and they don't look their gimmick, they don't look their gear, you know. And that was Jimmy Hart that told me that. He says, Jacques, he says, that's awesome that you have your, make sure you have your coat on, make sure you have your stick with you, and make sure you have this and that, your sunglasses and your hat. And so people, when they're in other wrestlers lines, they could see me from far away. They
Mm.
could say, hey, look, the Mountie's over there, the Mountie. But when it's vice versa, when they're in my line and they look far away, they can't recognize the guys because they're not dressed up in their suits, like in their wrestling gear. So that's an asset that's something that Jimmy had told me long time ago, and I always listen to that. So I'm looking for the Mounties, looking forward to come to the UK.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Forever Wrestling. I've not actually attended before, but they've been going for many years now. It's the best. I will say it's the best wrestling convention in Europe now. That is, it's the best. It's the best, hands down. I can't
They
wait.
have a big lineup, a huge lineup.
Lex Luger, who when I've been to the conventions in the States, he's been around and stuff, but I haven't met him. So I plan on meeting Lex on the Sunday as well. I'd like to.
Yeah.
I'd like to meet Lex.
Alex is a very nice person. Very nice person. He was always a nice person. He went through a lot of physical problems. You know, I saw him in a wheelchair, like, you know, I think a year ago or something. I don't know if he's out of the wheelchair now or if how is he doing, but he's always nice to the people, always nice to everybody. So you'll have a great time to chat with him for sure.
Absolutely. Jacques, without further ado, we have the 4 winners for the 2024 Lutte Academy as well. And I know, like you said earlier, you got a lot to say about Lutte Academy 2024. Another fantastic year in the bag now. And yeah, another competition for the best talent in Canada to showcase their skills. And it's the prizes, isn't it? You know, that they get afterwards as well on top of that.
You know, it was just been an amazing year. So I'll try to start somewhere. I'll start by winning the 4 winners. Zandra Lee, who's from Ontario. She's so young in the business, like 3 years in the business. She's going to be in the big leagues. I guarantee you. She's got everything it takes. She surprised a few veterans in this women's competition. And same thing for Relentless Riley Rose. Relentless Riley Rose. You remember these 2 names, Zandra Lee and Relentless
I do
Riley
from the
Rose.
previous.
You will remember them soon. They will break through in the business. And then you have the giant Orion, which really amazed me in the finals, amazed all the judges, and then Jeremy Prophet, who won the first year and came back this 3rd year and won again. Jeremy Prophet is amazing. Now I'm saying all these things, but you could go now to start watching on wrestling-academy.ca. You could see one of the quarterfinals. You could see one of the semifinals was put a couple of days ago, and so we're getting close to the finals, which will be put probably in the next week. But let me tell you something, Stu. I'm going to talk about the judges were amazing. The judges were just simply amazing. The place, the Leonardo da Vinci Center. Oh my God, it was such a first class place. It was like it's a place where Bocelli would go sing in Montreal. Like, you know, it was amazing. The technical guy were so amazing. The giant screens were amazing. Everything was so bigger this year as far as technical and technique and. But and what else can I say about that? I want to go ahead. There's so much. I'll have so much to say. I had even Ronnie Garvin being a special judge on one of the last nights. That was amazing because Eric Young and Tony Gattillo and my brother Raymond, who were commentaries. You'll hear the commentaries in French if you go on wrestling-academy.ca. But they were also judges, so they were commentating, and then after the match, they would. And it was such a hard job this year because the best talent just came out of Canada from everywhere. The word was out that Jacques Rougeau pays the people, and Jacques Rougeau gives the trips to the Nightmare Factory to people, and everything on AEW, the tryouts and everything. Everything happened that I said that would happen. So the word got out to the best talent in Canada this year, and it was like, oh my God, it just went up a notch. And so for the judges, it was so hard to eliminate. There's so many good talent that we had to eliminate, and oh my God, I was heartbroken. Natalie and I were really heartbroken after every show because although people were going to the semifinals or going to the finals, we were having lunch with everybody. There's always there was this beautiful restaurant, Galonero, that provided us with all the food after every show, and we were all together, the winners and the ones who didn't win, and they were all there. We're there as a group, and it was, instead of being there and having fun looking at the winners, I was so sad looking at the people that were eliminated. That was a sad part of this competition, and all this to say that I talked a couple of days ago to Rodrigo. And Israel from Mexico, because the winners are going to Mexico for 1 week to wrestle, and all that. That's going to happen during next year sometime. I was talking to him a couple of days ago. It was so funny. He was telling me, Jacques, when are we doing this with the Wrestling Academy winners? I said, well, they got bookings so far, but let's look in February or March. Maybe we'll send them over there. And then I was talking to Sonny Ono, because they're going to Japan also for a week. And then Sonny Ono will be actually at the Comic Con
Yes.
for the Love of Wrestling in the UK. But so people will be able to talk to him about that, and the rest of but what I want to say, out of the four winners that won $10,000 each, it was so amazing, because we gave them a false check there, like, when we did the presentation at the end, like a big cardboard, like it's a check. It's where the money, it says $10,000, but it's not the real deal. So what was so fun was, after, when we went to the restaurant, we called them one by one, Natalie and I. We called them in a little room next door, and we had $100 bills in an envelope, like $10,000 in cash, and then we were giving to Zandra Lee. And when I said, "Put your hand out," then we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, and we had 100 of those to give to each one of them. And you should have seen. And wait till you see, when you watch Wrestling Academy this year, and you watch the finals. And approximately a week from now, it'll be out. Wrestling-academy.ca. Wait till you see the expressions of when they win. Holy mackerel! It's like Riley Rose, who's crying like a baby. The giant Orion, who's supposed to be a big mean guy, he was like so excited. He was like a little kid that you gave him a big lollipop. I know it was like, but he was like, you'll see the emotions are absolutely amazing. But let me tell you something, Stewie. More than that, the finals was an amazing night. You had the best talent there, but mark my word, what I'm telling you, Stu, and mark this down. If you ever been a wrestling fan, if you're ever looking for talent, wait till you see the last match, the three-way match between Chad Daniels from Winnipeg, who he tasted the gold this year but never made it, but he tasted it, and he was so close, so charismatic, so everything. He was so perfect. Giant Orion and Jeremy Prophet. This three-way match. Now I'm telling you, Stu, I know the business. Now this match could have been on TV for any federation worldwide in a main event. Wait till you see this match. You will not believe the execution that's in there. You will not believe the maneuvers, the stunts, the it was like, it was mind blowing. And when the match finished, when you have a whole crowd, 500 people there that have been following this and screaming like, "This is awesome! This is us!" And the commentators were trying to talk, we were trying to talk, and they would never stop. If they were, everybody was blown you'll see. So when you have a chance, in about a week from now, you can start watching now the semifinals, and the quarterfinal, but in a week from now, the finals. Go on wrestling-academy.ca, and you will see what Wrestling Academy is all about, which is giving exposure to talent that are just amazing. These big leagues, AEW, TNA, WWE, they all should look at Wrestling Academy this year, because they could definitely recruit out of there for sure.
Obviously they've got this WWE ID now as well, haven't they? This new program with the independents and all different places. So hopefully we're going to see more Canadian talent, because when I had Jeremy Prophet on a couple of years ago now, maybe a bit longer, he was saying about visas and stuff like that. They don't make it easy for them to break into America, do they? Why that?
I know that
thing? I
I
don't
know
know.
that I know that Zoe Sager, who was in the finals, she was chosen one of the first female Canadians to be in that, and then she was part of Wrestling Academy, and she was
Mhm.
my little tiger. She was awesome. She was so imagine that, just to give you an idea, she was in the main event, like in the finals,
Mhm.
and two other girls made it and passed. So wait till you see. And Zoe Sager, she was against Zandra Lee, and wait till you see the charisma that Zandra Lee has, and that. So if you think that a girl like Zoe Sager, who was my favorite the whole time, one of my favorites, and she makes it to the WWEID, and then imagine how Zandra Lee's feeling right now. She wins the whole tournament, so she must have her hopes up really high, incredible, like So it must be amazing. So and I can't wait. Giant Orion, he was there, and he was just a changed man this year. He grown so much. He in every sense, in his approach, his personality, his kindness, he was different. His maturity, his respect. He was a different man this year, and that's what brought him to the finals, and that's what brought him to win. But still, and I'm saying it once again, Jeremy Prophet,
Mhm.
it was definitely the best
Mhm.
wrestler in Canada this year.
Mhm.
When you see the finals, and it was so hard. It was a hard situation because Jeremy Prophet is from Montreal. The competition's in Montreal. So he's got home advantage. He's got he was my student 17 years ago, 18 years ago. He came to learn to wrestle with me. So, but the good thing about this year is, as you know, I pulled out of being a judge. So I wasn't a judge this year. I was
Mhm.
just,
Mhm.
having fun with doing the interviews with the crowd. So my brother Tony Gattilio, Ronnie Garvin, and Eric Young were the judges. So I was so happy because whatever decision they took, it was like, I'm washing my hands on that one. It's not, and because it became too painful. I had to
Mhm.
eliminate a lot of people that I loved.
Mhm.
So Jeremy Prophet, he had something going for him and against him. It was like a knife, the double standards there, because being the favorite, everybody's saying, "Oh, of course he's going to win." So the judges had to be harder on him because and because he had already won Wrestling Academy in the first year. So that was a danger zone for him. So he really had to come out of his comfort zone, which wait till you see what he did in that match. Him and the Giant Orion. Uh, that's what stole the judges. And there was another match I gotta mention too, with KB6 and Wes Barker. And Wes Barker, a guy from out west, keep an eye on him. I'm telling you right away. Uh, KB6, he's been there for a couple of years, and I thought he could have been one of the favorites to win this, but he injured himself during the match, and you'll see that during the match. He never shows it. He never does, but he does a dive, and he hurts himself. And then he showed me his injury the next 2 days. His arm was blue from one end to the other. His shoulder. He tore a big muscle during the match, and therefore, at one point during the match, after his injury, he hit the ropes, but he couldn't lift his arm up enough to catch the rope, so it looked a little clumsy when he hit the ropes. And Wes Barker, who's in there, it takes two to tangle. So Wes Barker, who was one of the favorites too to win, so the five guys that were left, they were really could have been, all five could have won the Wrestling Academy, but because it takes two to tangle, because um, uh, Wes and KB6 had a little mess up in the match, just a little slack thing. That's what really created the fact that, and what was different too, Stewie, I got to tell you, this year is that we judge the whole quarterfinals and the semifinals in a certain way. Like after every match, the judges do the criterias, they critics, and then they chose one out of two or two out of four. But when we came to the finals, we did something different. We had two women's match and we had two men's match. And what we did this year is we had the two women's match go one after the other, and then the judges give their opinion, but they don't choose after every match. So they had to choose two girls out of the four girls, but it didn't necessarily mean one in each match. It could have been two in the same match. And then so it's the same thing for the two men. So there was a three-way at the end, and then there was a one against one. There was five men at the end. So they had the two matches back to back. And then the judges could choose 2 out of 5. So what I'm saying is, why I'm explaining this, I think it's important. Jeremy Prophet and Giant Orion just blew the whole place apart. But Wes Barker, who could have been a favorite, so charismatic, and KB6, he could have won this. He really could. Wait till you see him in the semifinals. If you go check him now, he's online. Go check the match with KB6. Oh my God, and Wes Barker both. So, but because they had that mess up in the match, it kind of took a little something away of Wes Barker too, because KB6 made a little mistake, and then the because of the injury, then it takes, like I said, it takes 2 to dance. So there was a little like bad synchro in there. A little, and the match that followed them was the 3-way, who they blew. It was amazing. So they picked the 2 in the last match. But I'm telling you, if KB6 wouldn't have had that injury, oh my God, it would have been such a hard decision. I mean, everybody was there during the day at Wrestling Academy. Everybody was, they were looking, they had 1 foot away from the $10,000. 5 of them, like, there was 2 winners and there was 5 guys left, and it was such an amazing event. And the Wrestling Academy, I'm blessed that, and I want to thank all the sponsors that made this happen. This was a great event. So go check out wrestling-academy.ca for the quarterfinal and the semifinal. And then in 1 week from now, you'll see what I'm talking to you about, this amazing final event, which is memorable, just memorable.
So good. What an end to the 2024 tournament, as you say. What an opportunity for people that want to get involved next year for 2025, of course.
Well, you know what I'm thinking. We don't have everything decided yet, but we're there's a lot of things happening now, and but there's a lot of possibilities. We're actually looking at a possibility of, instead of having 30 competitors from Canada, we may have 10 from Mexico, 10 from United States, and 10 from Canada. So make it North America next year, and so that would be amazing. That's in our plans. Nothing's decided yet. We're still at the drawing board and trying to put some things together. But flights from Eastern Canada to Montreal or Western Canada, they're the same prices as flying them in from Mexico or the States.
Wow.
So it's like so it makes no difference. It's we're gonna have to look into the visas and the stuff like that, problems like that. But if it's a contest with where nobody's paid, it's more like an exhibition. Then there's not a problem, because we could always. If we give the money in cash, then we give the money in cash. So nothing shows, and so when they come to Montreal, they could just say they're visiting, or they're just coming for a demonstration, or So, but there's a lot of things to take in consideration. But we'd like to make this North America, and if not, we'll do it again in Canada, which the Canadians are very, very happy to have this opportunity.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, go and check out Lutte Academie. Wrestling Academy for us, obviously, as well. And as you say, the final will be up, won't it? Be up very, very soon. I need to catch it. I will. I promise you that. I'll be watching.
No, you have to, Stu. I'm at wrestling-academy.ca. Make sure you put the address out there so people can go and get it.
Yeah, got to get to the correct place, absolutely. And the best talent Canada has to offer. Absolutely, absolutely. Before you go, Jacques, obviously, you've got the thing with GSP on the 11th. So if you'd like to promote that again and plug it before we go. And I've got
it's on not on the 11th. I think it's on the 13th, 14th, the 14th of December. It's the 14th of December.
Sorry.
Yeah, next Saturday, not tomorrow, Saturday, but the next Saturday, the 14th of December. You guys want to come and meet us, and just come meet GSP. What a great guy he is! But come and try to win this belt. It's amazing, this belt. I love this belt. It's the most beautiful, most prestigious thing I've ever owned. And when I held it in my hands, it was like just it was amazing. And you will feel the same way too. And so thank you, Stu, for this great time and podcast, and always fun. And I'm looking forward to have a meal with you when I come on the 15th of February at the Love of Wrestling in the UK. Looking forward to it, Stu. It's always nice. And take care of your family. You're a good man, and don't forget to say hi to George for me, and Greg, and the guys that write in. I really appreciate Mike and the people that write in and wish me well. And hi to all you guys, and hope you come and see me at at the love of wrestling there.
Let me tell you something about Mike. Oh my days. He's involved in wrestling, ring announcing, Progress, which is huge company over here, obviously. But he will be, I think he's working. He works the full of wrestling
All right.
every year.
Oh,
If
awesome.
if there's one positive man over here in the business, because the business gets shat on a lot of times, different people and all that, what a positive guy. If I'm having a bad day, I can speak to him. Unbelievable positivity, never runs anybody down. Great guy, and yeah, I can't wait
You
to
want
see
to
him.
have people. You want to have people like that around you.
He's unbelievable. He's unbelievable. But Jacques,
I'll look forward to meet him.
Jacques, thank you so much again. So yeah, the record-setting 6th appearance on Stu's Wrestling Podcast. You've been on the most now, and we're nearly on 200 episodes. And yeah, just thank you so much. You, Natalie, and the family have a great Christmas as well, of course.
Thank you, Stu. Same for
you'll
you.
have a good celebration, and all the best with TKN with RB Client. I hope you win the whole thing. I hope you win it. If there's one celebrity I want winning, it's you. You know, I hate the Mountie, but I don't hate Jacques Rougeau. Let's just play it like that. And just before we close out, I've got a little song here. Wrong one.
I was wondering where you were going with that.
Sorry, malfunction.
We love the USA.
Absolutely. Just before we go as well, I watched SummerSlam 88 the other day on the network.
My God.
You guys against the Bulldogs. What an
Oh
opening
my
match.
God.
Like you said about opening a show, it's very, you've got to get the fans on board in that opener. That's high pressure. That's probably more pressure than the main event, isn't it? But
Hulk always told me that, and he explained that to me during his career. Like, he always loved to have me in his first matches in the shows, because when the first match is one of the most important one of the evening, because it's either the people, you get them up like this, or you just goes like this, and it takes a long time to get them back up. But when you start a show like this, then the show just goes on, and it's a great show. So, and what a great match we had with the Bulldogs. It was an amazing match with the Bulldogs.
You had a long time in there as well. They give you a lot of time.
20 minutes. 20 minutes,
Amazing.
actually, and there was a pay-per-view, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
It was, yeah. You were in Madison Square Garden.
It was amazing. That you're talking about the best place in the world to be at, as far as more as prestigious, and to do 20 minutes and to have the people on their feet like we did, that was an amazing time.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
An amazing positive time.
Absolutely. It's all about positivity. That's the message we're trying to spread. Of course, Jacques Rougeau, former WWE, WCW talent, of course. And yeah, thank you so much for coming on Stu's Wrestling Podcast for episode 190.
Go get my belt, guys. Go win my belt in the arcades.
Absolutely. Cheers, Jacques.
Cheers.
Ya, dale,